Paul tonight, won by TKO last time out over Ferenc Katona, the 24-year-old from Hungary, on the International Challenge belt against Konstantin Alexandrov, the contest before that. So he's made this venue a welcome home in Bethnal Green. Classic orthodox style. Pretty rangy, tall as well. His opponent, Arvydas Tryzno, already in the ring. Shared the ring with Larry Akandeo in Akandeo's last fight. This his 91st fight, 24 victories in a career that started back in 2009 in his home country of Lithuania.
Ladies and gentlemen, Hellraiser Boxing in association with Warrior Promotions presents 6 3 rounds in the super welterweight division. Firstly, introducing in the blue corner, he makes his scales at 11 stone, 2 pounds. He has had over 90 fights, wearing the blue and yellow shorts from Lithuania, Arvydas Tryzno! And his opponent across the ring in the red corner, he makes his scales at 11 stone, 5 pounds. His unbeaten record consists of 12 fights, 12 wins, 2 of those wins coming by KO. Wearing the black, white and blue trunks from Highgate, Tony Milch! Well, we will now give his final instructions to both bosses.
So the final contest of the evening, Tony Milch in the red corner, Arvydas Tryzno in the blue. This one's scheduled for 6 3-minute rounds at the 11 stone 2 limit.
Seconds out, first round.
Tony Milch, tall range. He likes to box at mid to long, uses his feet pretty well. Lots to like about his work. Technically a very solid operator. Tryzno has fought all over Europe. Latvia, France, Finland, Italy, of course the UK. He's even ventured as far as Canada on 2 occasions as well. So well-seasoned travelling fighter. Still only 28 years of age as well. With plenty of miles on the clock, but presumably a few more to be had for him as well.
Milch is flicking at that jab really well. Nice sharp jab.
Tryzno is managed by Oscar Milkitas, who's got a number of Latvian fighters around welter and super welterweight. Of course, Maris Bridis made boxing history for Latvia last month, becoming first Latvian to win a boxing world title, beating Marco Huck via unanimous decision in Dortmund to win the WBC Cruiserweight green belt. No doubt that will inspire the younger generations in his national cohort that they too can
most definitely
get in the mix at world level. Well, got to say, after Philip Bowes and Glenn Foot, it's nice to see a bit of space between a couple of fighters.
Oh yeah, very, very much so. Those last couple of fights were very up close and personal.
Tryzno just slapping the right hand off the guard of Tony Milch. Just keeps those straight 1-2s and then the jab coming. Nice sharp work.
Nice combination from the body to the head again from Milch.
Don't see that very often. Left hook, then the jab.
No, I usually see that the other way around usually.
Yeah. Nice to see somebody doing things not the orthodox way.
And that's the way to beat people, because people are trained the conventional textbook way. So if you can just break that rhythm, you're always going to catch them off guard.
Tryzno coming forward, considerably more compact of the two men. Shorter arms, a little shorter in height too. Milch just using that range and distance to his advantage through this first round. Remember, this one not at the same frantic pace as some we've seen this evening, perhaps because these guys have got the benefit knowing they've got 6 rounds ahead of them, which is sometimes leads to a nice stylistic start with a little bit more of a feeling out process, which is what we've just seen. What a terrific evening of boxing.
Oh, what a treat.
Just being Elvis McCona looking very sharp against Luke Fash early on. Andre Sterling came up against an incredibly tough fighter in Richard Harrison, who just took everything that he had to throw at him.
But still kept the class in his performance and didn't get desperate, which was a very mature performance from him.
Absolutely.
In his second fight, wasn't it?
Absolutely, of course. Yeah, lots of potential there. Jeffrey Ofori looking very good against Joe Beeden as well. Onder Osgood not having it all his own way against Tian Booth from Nottingham, but he got the job done by hook or by crook. Chris Congo, I think, did as we expected and put on a real show for the fans.
Such a show of class there.
In and outside the ring too, and then a big main event that sort of lived up to the expectations as far as the pattern of the fight was a little bit messier than we would have liked, and Glenn Foote just came away 93 points to 95 victorious across the cards, and he becomes the new English super lightweight champion. Good performances too from Richard Riatpour, first round stoppage for him. Tony Buttigieg just learning in his second pro fight too. And now this one to be decided, Tony Milch and Arvydas Tryzno into the second round of 6 here at dear old York Hall. Tryzno with a counter left hook. Just caught Milch. Partially landed on the glove, but just felt that one, I think. This really is what we were talking about earlier with Phil Bowes, was that when there was a gap, he just wasn't throwing the jab and maintaining that gap. He was just allowing Foote to come in and close, whereas what you see now is, and of course I know that Tryzno is not marauding forwards in the same fashion that Glenn Foote was, but the point still remains. If there's nothing to stop you from coming forwards, then you will.
Flick the jab out, exactly. And he's flicking that jab out just to give Tryzno something to think about. And that's what you've got to do. Always keep your opponent thinking so he can't start planting his feet and strategize, and that's what you don't want. But Milch is keeping him a nice range where he can execute, throw the jab. Nice selection of jabs, double jabs.
Just covering up nice and high and tight too.
I'd like to see a few more body shots from Milch, just to mix it up a bit.
Well, second round ticks by without too much by way of incident. It's safe to say Tony Milch is comfortably in charge at mid to long range, keeping things behind the jab and the 1-2s. Arvydas Tryzno is giving him a momentary pause for thought, but nothing to trouble him too much so far. So Joshua, we'll be seeing you back here in July. I was going to ask you when do preparations start, but I imagine they never really end, do they?
There we go. It's all about just peaking at the right time, but you never let yourself go. As we've seen with some of the people that take a hiatus.
Seconds, round 3.
Well, not that it should really factor too much, but given that Tony Milch is 4 years from the big 4-0, certainly doesn't look it in terms of his sharpness and hand speed.
And there you go. It was all about lifestyle, because I've seen some really young, real young fighters looking like they're in their late 70s, but that's just lifestyle. If you live clean and you train hard, your body ages differently to normal civilians, I'd say. But he looks like he lives quite a disciplined life.
Yeah, I'd say
looks very fit.
Condition of the man, absolutely, yeah. And if he's serious about making the most of what presumably will be the next 3 or 4 years in the sport, wouldn't imagine he'd do too much more than that, then I suppose the best way to maximise those years is to, as you say, live clean and put everything into it that you've got, because you haven't got the time to play around with, as some of the younger fighters have. It is interesting just to see somebody that's essentially only 12-0 as a professional, hasn't had a huge amount of experience, and then in contrast you've got someone like Tony Buttigieg in the previous contest at a completely different stage of life, half the age of the man in the ring, and trying to make his way too. So interesting overlap with a number of these boxers, different stages of their careers, different stages of their lives, but all coming together under one roof for a fascinating evening of boxing, one of the most famous venues in the country, if not the most famous.
And a lot of characters in this place.
Absolutely.
It's like a mixing pot of all types of people that come here.
Tryzno just opening up with a nice 4-punch combination there, but Milch was able to just tuck up nice and tight. It's pretty defensively cute when he is under those little rare spells of pressure. Tryzno's certainly got some pop in his shots too.
Oh, he's definitely. And you can see he's growing with confidence as he's not necessarily landing, but he's seeing the way Milch is reacting. And he's thinking, let me step in a bit more.
Just crashing those shots away to the body, just cutting off the ring well, keeping Milch thinking, making him work. And so sometimes just over something like a 6-rounder, a little bit longer than usual. That's, well, maybe those extra 10 or 15 punches that you're made to throw every round, just as the fight wears on, just like to test the conditioning. And I don't think, looking at him, Tony Milch's conditioning is in question, but certainly we'll find out if there are any chinks in his armour with the style employed by Arvydas Tryzno.
It's true, and if you take away fitness, there is a bit of wear and tear that can play a part, especially if you're taking shots. As much as you're blocking them, blocking these shots can wear you down a bit, so sometimes it's best to evade those shots altogether, especially fighting someone who's a little smaller than you. Get your footwork. He's got quite good footwork, so if he can move around a bit more, just pop out the jab and not exchange, then his fitness can help him. But standing there taking those shots to the gloves, to the arms, can wear you out just as much as you're taking them full on.
Seconds up, round 3.
Milch keeping that jab firing out. Nice
that was a quadruple jab there, I just see.
It was, yeah. That's better. 1-2 hook to the body.
There we go. That's what I was looking for.
Just trying
that's what's going to slow.
That's it. Just trying to slow Tryzno down a little bit, because he's just started to gather a bit of forward momentum in the last 3 or so minutes. I don't think that Milch is perhaps the most powerful of punchers, but he's certainly sharp and accurate, and often those two combinations can actually add up to quite a distracting offensive offering if you're the fighter trying to walk forward and trying to cut the ring off. Somebody that's constantly just popping you with a jab.
And that's a very annoying way to fight, which is very good. He's got to use that to his advantage. All I'd suggest is that Milch throws a few more to the body just to mix up.
Tryzno, just for the first time in the contest,
looking
come
confident.
forwards.
He's looking a lot more confident now.
Just briefly stopped in his tracks, isn't he? So maybe some of the good work from Milch is just starting to pay dividends. Good head movement from Tryzno.
A bit eccentric there, wasn't it?
Was a little eccentric, and a couple of hooks to the body were thrown in with plenty of spike, but I think they came off the bottom of the elbows of Milch. Again, Tryzno's attack. Off the arms and the gloves.
Tryzno's looking quite confident now.
Tryzno feinting, trying to force Milch back. Milch not moving backwards too much, more sideways. Step back and then off to the side. That's good work from him. As Tryzno fires away again to the body, just trying to slow him down a touch. Nice three-punch combination again from Milch. He's made to
and then
work
just slid
hard.
right out to the side. Very good.
Good round from him. Tryzno raises his hand in the air.
Now Milch has got to take away that confidence from Tryzno, because Tryzno's really feeling really confident. He's going to start experimenting with stuff which could be quite dangerous.
So just a couple of rounds to go then. All proceedings and doors close here at York Hall in Bethnal Green. I think we've earned our keep here as well tonight. It's fair to say, but it has been an enjoyable evening at the commentary desk, no doubt. Lead right hand from Tony Milch. Tryzno responds with a slightly more aggressive combination, but again the two men kind of covering up each other's work. Well, it's a skeletal crowd in comparison to what it was about an hour ago, but certainly they're still in full voice here.
Oh yeah, they definitely are.
It's bank holiday weekend after all, so I think people are just in a slightly more relaxed posture than they would otherwise be.
Very true.
Tryzno coming forward again, still on the hunt, still undeterred.
Milch is still using that bread and butter jab to just keep his opponent at range. And is quite unfazed by anything that Tryzno does.
Well, he's just covered up, kept things simple, isn't he?
Very simple. And it's working.
Just half a yard with the feet when Tryzno comes forwards, tucks up well, takes a lot of the hooks on the arms and the gloves. Keeps the guard nice and tight and closed when Tryzno fires the jab through the middle. And then when he's got the opportunity at mid to long range, just fires that jab through the gap of his own. Works the 1-2s well, and his conditioning has stood up to the test, which has been...
And his jab has remained very on point, very strong, not sloppy. I don't think he's hurting Tryzno enough to put him on his back foot.
No.
You can just see Tryzno still growing in confidence.
No, he's not, and so I guess that's points even more towards the requirement for good conditioning. If you're not the biggest puncher and you haven't got quite the pop naturally that some of the fighters we've seen tonight have, then it's imperative that you're able to deal with a bit of added pressure as a result of somebody getting closer to you than they might otherwise.
Definitely.
But Tony Milch has certainly ticked that box as we near the end of round number 5 and approach the final round. Conditionings look good. He hasn't looked phased at any point. Nice little lead, screwed in uppercut there as Tryzno raises his hands, goes back to his corner. Hearing that we've got a pretty even encounter between Brook and Spence through round 4 by all accounts.
Seconds out, 7th and final round.
Of course, with George Groves winning the world title, if Britt were to lose it, we'd still have the same number of world straps as we did before, but we have the potential in about the next 20 minutes to have one more than we did have. Even more proof that this sport is thriving in Britain.
Most definitely.
The final round here at York Hall. Tony Milch just dancing around the outside resets for the 3-punch combination. Tryzno still hunting, still trying to walk his man down, but allowing Milch to just have a bit of space to move and find those long, stiff jabs. That was a good right hand, just inside the hook.
I think Milch being very upright makes it quite easy for Tryzno to just want to swing his hooks in.
Tryzno now trying to beckon Milch on. I think he just fancies swinging a few shots in the dark. In this final round, give himself a chance to make things difficult for Milch. Test his chin out a little bit. Milch hasn't really exposed his chin enough for Tryzno to do so. He's kept things pretty high and tight, kept the chin tucked down. Oh, that one got through though. Tryzno banging his gloves together. He wants to make things a little bit roughhouse in this final round. Can he make Tony Milch break out of this nice, compact, technically solid shell? I don't think so. Milch just looks pretty calm. He's just weathering this little storm. He's not going to take the bait.
He always comes back with a couple of jabs in the straight just to make sure he stays on top. So he weathers the storm, then just throws a straight or a double jab just to make sure everyone can see he's okay.
Just jabs to the body. Nice combination, 1-2, then a short uppercut from Milch. Catches Tryzno with the right hand. Try as he might, Tryzno has exerted a form of pressure, but he hasn't been able to make Tony Milch crack or...
And this is why he's trying to wind him up with the gestures, but that's more frustration, I think.
Absolutely, just trying to make him lose his shape, but he hasn't managed to do so. Milch has just kept things calm.
And kept the jabs coming in, kept the straights.
Absolutely.
A very methodical way of fighting, and it's worked.
Absolutely, well, shake his head all he wants, but those shots are getting through the guard, and there's the final bell. And Tryzno raises his hands there.
Yeah, you got to try. If you don't ask, you don't get.
Absolutely.
But he definitely didn't win that one.
Good performance from...
He did grow in confidence, which was
Tony Milch.
if it means something.
So there we have it. We'll go to the judges' scorecards. The final results of a busy, busy night here at York Hall. Any highlights for you this evening, Joshua?
Wow, where do I begin? I wasn't supposed to stay the full course, but you know, that's how exciting it was.
Hard to walk away, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for both boxers. After 6 3-minute rounds, we go to the referee's scorecard. The referee in charge of the bout has scored the bout 58 points to 57. In favour of the winner, in the red corner, from Highgate, Tony Milch!
Tony, a close points win. You moved to 13-0 though. Were you happy with that?
Not really. Obviously, I'm happy with the win. But
listen, no excuses. I came out, I performed, but because I was 18th tonight, I'm not making any excuses. I'm really hot in there. I felt very flat, as you can see, and luckily, my boxing got me through because there was times in the 6th round where he threw good shots, but guess what? I wasn't rocked. He threw the body shot, I wasn't hurt. And this guy came to win. He weighed heavier than me. He's little, he's a big guy. He's a WBC fighter. And listen, I'm only going to get better. I thought that was an average performance, but the most I would take from it is I listened to my coach, Ian Burbage. I want to thank Gallo Glass Security, who sponsored the fight, and also Superset Marketing, who did all my ticket sales. It's very difficult selling tickets.
You're 36 now. Presumably you want to move on quickly to bigger and better things.
Of course I do, and what I thought is, my last fight I came off such a spectacular knockout that you guys were filming. Maybe that put a bit of added pressure on myself. I was a bit flat, but the main thing is I've gone out and got a win on a guy who came to win.
Yeah, he certainly came to fight. He was game as anything,
So
and you stayed on the outside and boxed him.
Listen to instruction, you know what I mean? Sometimes I like to have a tear up, I love to have a fight, but I listened to instruction and that proved to be the right way to do it. You know, we all have learning nights and I think that was one tonight.
Well done.
Thank you so much.
Look forward to seeing you out next time.